So many faces, so many races, different voices, different choices. And some are mad, while others laugh. Some live alone with no better half. Others grieve, while others curse. And others mourn behind a big black purse. And some are pure, and some have bread. And some are sober, and some are wasted. Some are rich because of fate. And some are poor with no food on their plate. Some stand out while so many races, different places, different choices. And some are mad, while others laugh. Some live alone with no better half. Others grieve, while others curse. And others mourn behind a big black purse. And some are pure, and some have bread. And some are sober, and some are wasted. Some are rich because of fate. And some are poor with no food on their plate. Some stand out while others blend. And some are fat and stout while some are thin. And some are friends and some are foes. Some have both. Yeah. Every color, every hue is represented by me and you. Take a slide in the slow. Take a look in the kaleidoscope and round, naked world in this kaleidoscope. Some are great and some are few. Others lie while some tell the truth. And some say poems and some do sing. And others sing through their guitar strings. Some know it all while some act dumb. Let the bass line run through the drum. Some can't swim, but some will sink. And some will find their minds and think. Some have some, while some have no. Yeah. Every color, every hue is represented by the end. In the slide, in the slow.
Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is VALBERT BRYAN, and I'm covering today for the beautiful Latoya Walker that couldn't make it in today. Today, we just want to share a few thoughts and a few moments with you as we give you a broader picture of yourself because we all have greatness in us and there are things that lie dormant in us and just need some help or something to bring it out. So stay tuned, enjoy the show as we go forward. I want to share with you a story as we go. And this story, it's about Abraham Lincoln, the pioneer and father of America. He went to a church service, and after the service was over, and his chauffeur came to get him. While they were on their way home, his chauffeur asked him a question, and the question was, "Did you enjoy the service?" And he says, "No." So his chauffeur turned and looked at him and said, and asked another question: "Was the preacher, was he good?" And he said, "Yes." And then that followed up with another question. He asked him if the preacher delivered the message well. And he said yes. So he was puzzled. He was wondering, how could you say then you did not enjoy the service? And then Abraham Lincoln answered him and said, he did not challenge me. I was not challenged. He didn't give a challenge how I could become a greater person. And that sends a strong message that we need to be challenged, whether by ourselves or somebody else challenge us. Because when we are challenged, then it gives us the opportunity to tap into our greatness, things that you might have never done before, that you have the capability, but because you're not challenged, then that thing lie dormant with you. And these are things that we look over or we pass by every day. And it may take a situation, it may take some adversity. One famous writer said, adversity introduce a man or a woman to themselves. And I know of a fact that that statement bear a lot of goodies for me and for everybody else. And I will share something with you about my personal life. And it shows you how adversity introduce you to yourself, whether you be a man or a woman, and also the blessing and the treasures that if you look deep, if you search into a situation, you'll find. A long time ago, I was I was in a toxic relationship, and I decided to leave because there was no future, and it was just bad things happening one after another. So I left that relationship, and sometimes you have to move, you have to change location, maybe change country, change your neighborhood, different areas, because when things happen to you, at times you need a different environment. I was no different. So I moved to another um, parish and begin with my life. And the person that I left from the previous relationship, for some reason, they continue to um, follow me around and just keep doing things that was very disruptive. And I had to be moving from one place to another. And then finally, that person started to damage my vehicle, and I had to sell my car just to disguise myself. Now, we're talking about how you can develop your greatness, how you can be challenged in ways that you have never thought of. So remember, I left this situation and is moving on, but this other person could not move on at the time. No, I had to sell my car in order to be disguised, and I was driving the car of the present girl I was dating. And Through that experience, I was always an automotive technician by profession at the time, but I never thought about selling cars. And just because I needed to disguise myself from this person, I began, the idea was birthed in me to start selling cars. And I became a car dealer and of itself. I sold so many cars at one point that the insurance company says to me, Mr. Brian, you need a business license. No, fast forward back to the initial story. I never thought of that before. I was always into the car industry repairing cars, but never thought of selling them and having so much car at any given time. But because of this situation, that idea was given birth, and up until this very day, I still do it to some extent. Now, what is it that you're going through or have been through? What is that situation, that circumstances that happened to you? And you're wondering why? Why you? Why me? Because for some reason, we always like to ask the question, why me? But there's also another question, why not me? Because if adversity brings with it blessing and opportunities, but as Ellen Keller once says, that people focus so much attention and looking at the door that is closed, they miss the door that is open. And at some point, I think we are all victims of this. I am no different, and I'm sure you are not either. There's something I know about you, even though I don't know you, because once you're living and you would have gathered certain experiences, life teaches things about yourself, and that's how you know things about others. That you have greatness in you, you have the potential to be whatever you can be. My favorite book says, eyes have not seen, or ear have not heard what God has in store for you. There are things that somehow you know inside you can do, but the logical mind is saying that it's not possible. But deep down inside of you, that thing is there. And I'm just want to encourage you that as you move forward, whatever that thing might be, when you find yourself in circumstances that you didn't plan for, there was unseen, unpredictable, take time to search out those situations because opportunity do lies in those circumstances. You might cannot see it at the initial stage, but if you look hard and deep enough, then you will see it. And there are a few other stories I want to share with you of people, normal people, common people like yourself, who did not know that they had greatness inside them, things that they could do that they have never dreamed of. It never crossed their mind. But maybe an incident, a accident, or some something in their life, or something that somebody says at some point, and that spark, that fire, that ignite a whole different life moving forward. And I just want to share a few incident with you of persons who were going about their normal everyday life and they were challenged whether by something or someone or they themselves give themselves a challenge. They were challenged. I tell you, this thing called life, sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down, but as a good friend of mine said, let it be your high low, because there's one thing that is constant, and that is change. But everything else is variable. So, with that in mind, think, take a minute and to think of what that thing might be that you might have thought about long enough. You might try already, and you you may have failed. But again, remember, in the success equation, failure is a part. But I know that we were not taught that failure was a part. But yes, I'm telling you that failure is a part of the equation success. And if you fail long enough and if you keep going at it, I promise you, I guarantee you, you will, you will, you will succeed. There was there was a pianist at the time, and he would play. He was a good pianist, and he would play for bars and hotels, and go from town to town, city to city. Very good player. And at the time, that is all he knew, playing music, and he was doing good. And there comes a time that he was playing at this particular bar at this point in his life, and whether or not he was employed just for the night or for the weekend, as he normally did, and a patron at the bar asked the manager, you know, that he wanted to hear a song because he's going through a tough time in his life, and he need to hear some song. There's no special song that he wants to hear. You don't have to be a singer, but he just need the pianist to play and to sing a song. So, as any good manager of that business would do, he walk over to the player of the piano and he says to him, "Hey, I have a patron and he's going through a tough time, man, and he just want to hear a song." And the piano player reply, "Hey, I don't play, bro. I just sing. I don't sing. I just play." So he went back over to the patron and said, "Listen, this guy is just a player. He says that he cannot sing. He does sing. Whatever song you want him to play, he will do it for you, but he does not sing." As the owner rightly did, went back over to the pianist, and he says, "Hey, this guy is really depressed, and this guy need to hear a song. It could be Jingle Bell, it could be Merry Christmas, it could be whatever it is, man. Play and sing a song." But the player was adamant that, "Hey, I do not sing. I can't sing. I've never sing before." So the manager went back to the patron again and said, "Listen, man, I'm sorry, man. He says he can't do it. He has never done it before. Can't do it." The patron looked at the manager and he says, "Listen, I spent over $1,000 here tonight, man. I need to hear a song. And if I don't get a song, I'm going to spend my money elsewhere." End of speech. The manager sensed the firmness in this patron and wanted to satisfy his customer. So the manager went back across the room to the player that he hired and said, "Listen, man, here is the deal. Is either you sing or you're fired." Just like that. And that was a defiant moment because the manager realized that he was about to lose a valid customer. And sometimes life will throw you things like this where you can't see it coming. But in an instant, in a moment, you had to make a decision. So, with that being said, the player decided, all right, I can't afford to lose this job. So, I'm going to do something. Let's see what I can do. And to his surprise, the player started to sing, "Mona Lisa, Mona Lisa." Can you believe that same player of the jazz piano, black jazz music, that player is Nat King Cole, the great Nat King Cole. Now, somebody has to force him. He almost lost a job just to find his true gift that lies dormant in him. He was always a good player and he enjoyed doing that, but he never knew that he could sing. And now we all have the opportunity of listening and enjoying this great singer and artist, composer, because of one single person decided I need to hear a song. And he happened to be the player at the bar that night. And that opened a whole entire different world. Took his career to another level like never before. So now I bring it across to you. What is that thing that people, your friends, your associate, keep on telling you that you're good at? But to you, because you're just a natural at that, you think then it's nothing. I'm saying to you, you might want to dig in it. You might want to pursue that one thing, one relationship, one opportunity, one advice from a friend or a business partner or a coach or a mentor can change your life forever. Yes, that's why, without a shadow of a doubt, I'm here to tell you that you have greatness inside you because you don't know what you can do, really and truly, until you challenge yourself, until you test yourself. Just like Nat King Cole, with many hit songs, Mona Lisa is one of his biggest hits. If it wasn't for that situation, we might have never heard the beautiful voice of this singer. I hope that resonates deep with you. And I hope that challenge you. Just as Abraham Lincoln said, the, the sermon was good. The preacher delivered it well, but he never challenged him to become something greater. In life, we as humans, we strive to become greater, to achieve different levels. And that is why at times when are heartbroken and lost great losses in life, they kill themselves because they're heartbroken. When they can't achieve the dream, the goal, they can't aspire or they think they can't achieve that thing. They get depressed because we're naturally goal oriented people. So as you go from your day to day, if you're living a life that is not you, but there's something that you truly want to do, I'm saying go for it. I'm saying leap and grow your wings on the way down because you will never ever know what you can do until you step out. You don't need to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. So many people are living a life that they don't like, yet they're dying in that job, in that situation, that career, that profession that they truly don't want to be in. But the thing that they truly want to do, they're scared. And fear is a natural part of our existence. But there is an acronym for fear, false evidence appearing real. But there's also one for faith, finding answers in the heart. So, while some people face their fears and run, others face their fears and rise. It's like the birds. The eagle, when all the other birds fly away from a storm and seek shelter, the eagle fly towards. That make the distinction. So we all have fears. And if you should talk to any brave person, any person who accomplished great wealth, great discovery, they were fearful. They were fearful. But the difference is some people face their fear and run while others face their fears and rise. Remember this: fear, the acronyms, false evidence appearing real. Faith, finding answers in the heart. Those are two opposites. So, as you think and you ponder this question, if this guy could do it, you can do it also. He didn't know that he could do it, but he did it, and he did it well, and he has been paid a lot of money for it. Just like I did not know that the car industry, buying and selling car, trading car, that was never in me. I thought at the time it was never in me, but because of a circumstances, because of the circumstances, the situation that I was in, and at the time I was just looking to to get away from the situation, and to sell my car, selling my car at the time is the ideal because the person would not know what I would be driving. And then buying another car or driving the car of somebody else, then that opened up just the idea. And you can imagine the new income that comes with that. Just one idea can change your life. Research has shown that we as humans get 3 or 4 ideas per year. That if we would have acted upon one of those ideas, it would completely change our life for our future and make us, creating us the person that we intended to be. Remember again, everything starts from in the mind. Everything happens 2 times. It happens in the mind first. The thought came to your mind, then you think upon it, and then you initially, then you move forward into that thing. You will never get everything you wanted all line up or all your ducks line up in a row. Things will happen. And if you're looking for everything, to have the answers, to see the clear cut passage for everything you're pursuing, that ain't gonna happen. But the great scientist George Washington Carver says, do what you can with what you have, where you are, and do not be satisfied. You might be building a house. The project might cost $1 million. You might not foresee $1 million in the initial stage, but you have 100,000. Get the material, start the foundation. As soon as you're in the foundation stages or up and completing the foundation stages, you will see chances are another 200,000, 300,000 to pursue and go to the other stage. And if you follow in that trend, before you know it, that project is complete. But in the initial stages, you might have never seen how it is possible for you to accumulate that amount of money, because you might be thinking my job only pays this, my income only this amount. But when you step out, there's something about when you take the initial step, moving towards something. My favorite book says, draw nigh to me and I will draw nigh to you. There is a process. There is an action that you have to take. The thing that you want, as soon as you start to move towards it, then that thing start moving towards it. So, as we go through our day-to-day life, as we battle this pandemic, wherever you are in the world, you're affected some way. Lives are disrupted. Families has been separated. People lost loved ones. People have a lot of heartache and pain. But in all of this, you can find some good in all of this. New ideas, new invention has been given life to. People has been drawn close together. People maybe family member who have never reached out to each other in years or months. For some, they contacted each other, share things, men broken relationship. While we lose some person died, and there's no words of comfort to replace really a loved one. But things also has been given birth from this. So look at all this you situation because opportunity don't necessarily comes and knock as we were taught, but opportunity comes in the form of adversity, problems. And if we can solve those problems, then we don't have a problem because at the root of every problem, the one common denominator that every problem has is ignorance. There's something that you don't know about that thing that you think is giving you a problem. But if you only have the knowledge, then it wouldn't be a problem anymore because knowledge would give you the tool to solve whatever it is. So it would not be a problem. But life is structured in that way where you have to go through something to reach something. And even the book of life says the road to life is straight and narrow. Only few will find it. Why is that? Only few. The book of life. Imagine this is the book of life. It's saying that the road to life is straight and narrow because only few will find it. And one of the reasons why only few will find it because only few persons will be disciplined enough to pursue their goal, to do the long hours of study, the dedication, do the research, to follow through on their commitment, to take the time to practice a particular thing over and over and over again. It, it is challenging. It's only a few persons will put in 2 or 3 hours a day and whatever dreams or goal that they want to accomplish and decided that I'm gonna do this. Some persons just wanted just move with the wind, wherever the wind blows. And that is why the book of life says only few. And it also there's another part of the story. It says that wide is the road that leads to destruction, and many is along the path because no discipline. You can do whatever you want to do there. And people naturally gravitate to things at times that is not um, you don't have much rules or regulation, but that doesn't guarantee success. And I will share a story about a country that years ago was a slum, was impoverished, was one of the worst places to be. But today, it is one of the best place to be. And I speak of no other than Singapore. If you study relying on other nation, Malaysia, another nation, they form alliance with these nations, but things didn't work out with those alliance, and they break ties. And the leader at the time was a young leader, and I tell you, everything need leadership, discipline, just as what the book of life says. The road to life is narrow, only few there find it. This leader was faced with a huge challenge because they had no natural resources. The nation around them that they were trying to form alliance with didn't work out. It was just riot after riot and war after war. And this leader decided that he need to change this this situation, these circumstances, and he devised a plan. So when you're going through something, look at what you're going through, but also devise a plan. Come up with some ideas. Think, how can I? What can I do to change this dynamic? And he reach out to other countries and he build relationship. Sometimes you have to let go of some things and to hold on to something else. This leader at the time, he get experts from all over the world, different countries, China, England, people who are specialized skill in banking, in industries, and he invited these persons to come into their country, into Singapore, and to do business. And I'm sure special incentives was given. But he seek people who have experience in business. And he invited these persons to over 1,000 of these people. And these people start to work together, start creating more jobs, opportunity. They make sure that education was accessible for all the common people. And it was a process. Was it easy? No. Was it worth it? Yes. And today, Singapore is one of the wealthiest, one of the best places to live and to do business on planet Earth because of the wealth that has been created, because of one man vision, because he seek relationship and not any, just not any relationship. He This leader, he reached out to people in China, who China, um, with the industry, they are famous with that in building stuff, in creating stuff. And he reached out to people in So when you're faced with a challenge, a situation, whatever it might be, look at it, accept it for what it is, but then also devise a plan. Uh, And not only a plan, but a plan of action. Get going, get moving in the direction of where you want to go. It is a process. It will take time. And of course, the obstacle will be there. And also, of course, there will be people that will tell you that it can't be done. But when a leader spoke life or spoke of a dream that he maybe alone envisioned at the time, things happen. When he speaks, things change. Because in everything, you need to have somebody to lead. Just like a ship, a captain is there. Even though you might have 900 crew member or 1,000, some ship has even 2,000 crew member, but they have one person in the final command that all necessary information and stuff then will come from him. Even though everybody share the same vision and the team, but you need a leader, and not only any leader, you need a leader that is strong, a leader that will face the obstacle and devise a plan of action of how to go forward. And for some of us, we need to be forced, like Nat King Cole, that we have to be told, sing or you're fired. And sometimes these things need to happen before we finally do the thing that we need to do. One mentor of mine always says, sometimes when you don't have the intelligence to know that you have outgrown a situation, life will move on you. And in this case, this was what happened with Nat King Cole. This patron, wherever he got that idea from, he need a song. And sometimes we need somebody to sing for us. You might don't sing good as a professional, but do something. Begin. Start something. Start in the direction of where you want to go. When you do what you can do, God or divine intelligence or spirit, whatever you call it, will do the rest. But there's something that you can do, and you need to take action towards your dream, towards that thing that give you that fulfillment, that give you the sense of purpose to serve your fellow man. It could be that product, that software, that item, that innovation that only you can bring, just as our DNA are different. You have greatness, you have a uniqueness. You bring something to the table that was not there before. There's something that you have inside you that God placed there, but you have to search for that thing. And you have to develop that thing. And if you pursue that thing long enough, you will, you will be the person that you intended or you wanted to be. And there's many other stories. There are many other persons who was faced with situations after situation, but they pursue they pursue their dream and their goal. They did not let the obstacle stop them. They did not let their surrounding of whatever is going on. They didn't let excuse. Again, George Washington Carver, he says that the reason why 90+% of people fail, they make excuses. Take charge for your life. Don't make excuses. When you think about where George Washington Carver, where he came from, this man was born in slavery. His parents at the time traded him as a baby for a horse. No, you talk about you having things tough or having things bad. Listen to this. This man that was traded for a horse as a baby became one of the world's greatest agriculture scientists ever. This man came up with invention after invention with the peanut, over 300 different ones. And not even modern scientists is still puzzled. How comes this man achieved all this? What is it that people telling you that you can't do? What are the limitations that you are putting on yourself? Because sometimes it's not what the other person say, but what about the thing that you are saying? Because sometimes you are the biggest stumbling block to your dreams and to your goals. You might think I don't have the education, I am not qualified, I don't have the money. So what? How do you get started in that direction? What is it that you need to do? What is the first stage that you need to take on to accomplish that thing? I tell you this, it's not where you begin, but it's where you're heading. You don't need to be great to get started, but is a requirement that you have to start before you can be great. Whatever your weather forecast in your life is, you can bring your own sunshine because life is all about choices. You can choose to make it or you can choose to allow it to break you. It's all about choices. Say to yourself, no matter how tough No matter how tough it gets, no matter how bad it is, I'm gonna make it. That is the mindset that you need to have. That is the mindset that winners have. Whatever it takes. When will a baby walk? The baby will walk when it walks. But he keep trying. He keep going at it. He fell down 10, 20 times, bump his head. He get up, move again. Sometimes if we would just take lessons from these things, even the even the hunt, the book of life speaks about the hunt. The hunt has no leader, no king, but they work together. But there's lessons that we can learn from the hunt. One other lesson that you can learn from a hunt is that they work in groups, in teams. If they can't get around something, they go over it. If they can't go over it, they go under it. If they can't go under it, they pull together and move it out the way. Another thing about the hunt is that when summer, they think about winter, and when winter, they think about summer. So they are always engaged in preparing for the next season, making preparation. Life is about the choices you make. You can sit around and complain about the things that you don't have, but what about the things that you do have? We all have something in us, and at times we are looking for the thing elsewhere while the thing lies right in us. The book of life speak about a few great leaders, Moses and Joshua, and when they were called, as many of us do, our answer is we can't do it. Some say we can't speak. Some say we don't have the education. Some say we don't have the money. Some say we don't have the tool. But in the story, the master says, what do you have? What do you have? You have something. Search yourself. There's something there. If you look long and hard enough, there is something there. As we go forward, you know, it is real funny that you form your habits and your habits will form you. The things that you do, the things that you say. I'm just here to remind you that you have greatness. I'm just a brother from another mother telling you because of my own struggles, my own story, doing things that I've never dreamed. And most of the time it's circumstances, most of the time it's situation, and some of the time the people, the friends around you, they are the one that will say, hey, you're good at this, you're good at that. Listen to the persons that are close to you. We all have blind spots. We all have things that we cannot see, and it needs somebody to see it in us. It may be a friend, it may be a husband, it may be a spouse, it may be an employer, it may be a relative to show you that thing that you have. Think about it. While you think about it, also bear in mind that the clock is ticking and time waits for no person. The great Michael Jackson was planning to do a final concert, and for months, this concert was pushed back, put off, and things came up. And then finally, he decided to do it. And he says, this is it. And for him, it was. What is that thing you're putting off? What is that thing you keep pushing back? You remember, this man is a mega star, and he wanted to do one final farewell show to say, hey. And for whatever reason, he keep pushing it off. And finally, when he decided to do it, he says, this is it. And for him, it was. He died shortly after. Don't waste time. Time is precious. We all have things in our life that we wish we had done differently. But I'm here to say you still have time. The past, there's not much you can do about the past except learn the lessons and the wisdom that you have learned from the past and apply it in the future. But get going. Get going. Whatever the thing is, whatever you want, do it. Live full, die empty. Don't live with regrets because there's no dual trial in life. We come this way only once, and we can't stop the clock. You can't manage time, but you manage activities. And there's another story I want to share with you before our time run out for today. Think about this. Live full, die empty. I will tell you about a story about this famous actress that you know, and I'll tell you her name in a few minutes. She was working for a job, a corporation, and a friend of hers, after working for over 30 years, watch. And at this celebration for her departure, her other friend was observing. After 30 years, a gold watch? And her friend decided, no, this is not for me. Her friend get up, take up her bag, slam the drawer on the door, and quit that job. She walked out of that office. And as she was walking down the street towards her car, there was a sign of they had an audition coming up, and there was posters along the way. And she looked at that poster and she decided, you know what? I've never thought about acting, but since I saw after my friend worked for 30 years, all she got was a golden watch. No, that's not me. You have to be defiant. Sometimes you have to say, no, this is not me. I had enough. And she walked away and she auditioned for that play. And the rest is history. I present to you that actress, her name, Cicely Tyson. We all watched her movies. I think Wild Room is one of them. And we love her and we say, wow, what a great actress she is and was. She passed away, I think, earlier on this year. Think one incident changed her life forever. After seeing her friend work for over 30 years and got a golden watch, she decided, no, that is enough. That job, I'm done. And she quit that job. And she take a chance, something that she have never done before. And look at what she did with her life. Look at how much person life she impacted. Some people call her Auntie Boo Boo. Think about it. What are you putting off? What are you saying no to when you know that you're capable? My mentor, Les Brown, always says, whenever you have a conversation between your heart and your mind, listen to your heart. Your mind wants to see logics, but there's something that you know, and you don't know how you know, but you do know. So think about that dream, that goal, that mission that you're called to. Some persons are just called to serve, maybe um, i- in whatever area. Some person just can give you a nice smile, a word of encouragement. Some person, whenever time you go to their house or pass by, there will be a meal. It could be in the area of hospitality. It could be in the area of serving your country. It could be in the area of serving your community. I say to you, live full, die empty. As we about to come to the close of this program for today, I challenge you, like what Abraham Lincoln says, the service, it, it was good, but it wasn't challenged. And he would have been happy if he was challenged to leave that environment with a larger vision of himself, to do the thing that will inspire others to follow in his footsteps, to bring that unique gift that only you can bring to the table. The book of life also says that we are wonderfully and beautifully made. When you think about how your body is designed, the blood taking the food and all the nutrients through the body every 33 seconds. Think about it. Whatever it is, that mission, that goal, that dream. As Sister Tyson, as she look at what her friend got for 30 years of working for the corporation, and she decided, no, this job is not for me. And she quit that job, everything behind. But today, she is one of the greatest actress, and her legacy lives on. So, I hope these words inspire you. I hope you look at the facts, because a lot of times our fear causes us to run rather than rise. And again, it is a choice. It is a choice. Face your fears and rise, or face your fears and run. I say to you, I choose rise. When you have given the option of little or nothing, I say to you, take little. Just like Sister Tyson did when the time came for her to decide that enough was enough. I had it. I've seen it. 30 years to be only presented with a golden watch? No. I deserve more. Think about your dreams, your goal. If for some person that works, that's fine for them, but not you. You have greatness in you. You're a leader. There's something that you bring to the table. And only you will ever deliver that message. Maybe it's a restaurant is your calling. You know, that recipe, that spice, like the Colonel Sanders in his retirement years when he was served with a check and he decided, I want more. I'm gonna do something greater with my life. And every time you enjoy KFC chicken, remember the Colonel. He went from city to city, from state to state, not having money, but his dreams was his fuel. Getting over 300 no's. A lot of people saying no, your chicken is not better than mine, but he believed in himself and what he was called to do. And now KFC, it's a worldwide company, and his legacy lives on. What if he had received that check and decided, I am I am now at the age of retirement. That's it for me. Let's go home and lay down and watch my dream die inside of him. But he made a choice. So I'm saying to you, whatever it is, Whatever your goal is, are live full, die empty. This is VALBERT Bryan, Miss Etlin Bryan, baby boy. I'm saying, have yourself a pleasant day and upcoming week. Thank you.